It's not a helpful point of answer either, but... Question number 12, Brendan Horan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister for Primary Industries.
Order. Order.
To the Minister for Primary Industries, what scientific studies, if any, were considered by his ministry about the effect of the Rena disaster on the spawning, reproductive and growth cycles of snapper in the coastal waters of Tauranga Moana and the Eastern Bay of Plenty prior to the release of his MPI Discussion Paper 2013/31, Review of Sustainability and Other Management Controls for Snapper?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
On behalf of the Minister for Primary Industries, there have been no recent studies on the spawning or reproductive...
Order. Point of order. Right Honourable Winston Peters.
When a question is written down, it is required to be repeated or read.
Order.
Precisely.
Order. It was a very long question. The member forgot to put the word one at the end. I find that acceptable on this occasion. Honourable.
Not one at the end. Brackets SNA1, end of brackets, question mark. Now, he didn't just forget one thing, he forgot 5 of them.
Order. If the member takes delight in wasting the time of this House, I will ask Brendan Horan to repeat the question as written.
Thank you, sir. For the grumpy pensioner, I will.
Order. Just get on and ask the question.
Listen closely. To the Minister for Primary Industries...
Order. I apologise now to Mr Horan. Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, while it wasn't quite as bad as the comment earlier, that reflection on a member in this House is one which I do find objectionable.
Well, if it was a reflection of the member himself, he can ask for the comment to be withdrawn, but I didn't hear any interjection that I found objectionable.
It will be one day.
Of this House, a senior member of this House, by Mr Horan as a preface to his question. Mr Speaker, I think it's probably not wise to repeat it, but it was certainly unparliamentary.
My difficulty is I didn't actually hear what Mr... I
think what... well, sir...
I know it's Wednesday.
Well, sir, it might delay you giving me the job.
Order.
Mr Speaker, the point that I'm that you asked the member if he made an objectionable comment, and if he did, to withdraw and apologise.
But I've now ascertained through a lengthy point of order the member you're talking about is a comment made by Mr Horan.
That's right.
Mr Horan, if you made a comment that was unparliamentary, would you please stand, withdraw and apologise?
Withdraw and apologise, sir.
Now would the member proceed to read his question as it is on the order paper?
Thank you, sir. To the Ministry for Primary Industries, the Minister for Primary Industries, what scientific studies, if any, were considered by his ministry about the effect of the Rena disaster on the spawning, reproductive and growth cycles of snapper in the coastal waters of Tauranga Moana and the Eastern Bay of Plenty prior to the release of his, in capitals, MPI, capital D, Discussion Paper 2013/31, italics, Review of Sustainability and Other Management Controls for Snapper 1, brackets, capital S, capital N, capital A, 1, bracket, question mark.
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
On behalf of the Minister for Primary Industries, there have been no recent studies on the spawning or reproductive cycles of snapper in the coastal waters of Tauranga Moana and the Eastern Bay of Plenty. However, growth data is collected routinely from the commercial fishery in this area. There is no indication that the Rena grounding had any effect on snapper biology overall. The Snapper 1 stock covers a substantial area, while the effects of oil spills from the Rena were relatively localised.
Supplementary question, Brendan Horan.
Thank you, sir. Why is the Minister unwilling to cut the commercial catch of large fishing companies such as Sanford's, which incidentally is largely owned by interests associated with National Party President Mr. Peter Gupta.
Order. I will give the member one more opportunity to ask a satisfactory supplementary question without such additions to the question. Point of order. Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, can you be specific about what was unsatisfactory with that? Mr Speaker, there was a fact in there to do with the ownership of the...
Order. The member's now starting to waste the time of this House. Supplementary questions, if you only have to look at Standing Order 377, must be clear, concise, without imputation and epithets. Would the member please ask his supplementary question? Order.
Why is the Minister unwilling to cut the commercial catch of large fishing companies such as Sanford's?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister for Primary Industries, the member is jumping the gun. The Ministry is currently undergoing consultation on a range of options, is not targeting recreational fishers. There are a range of options which include cutting the catch limit for commercial fishers. The member might well be served to know that tonight there is a public information meeting in Parnell, which he or others interested could attend, or a public information evening in Tauranga at the Coast Guard building, Sulphur Point, between 6 and 8:30 tomorrow, the 1st of August, if anyone wants to, in fact, have the facts before they put a submission in on the process before the 23rd of August, rather than jump to the conclusions this member has done.
Order. Supplementary question to Uroroa Flavel.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, what steps has the Minister's Ministry been taking to ensure that the Kai Moana resource in Tauranga Moana will not be adversely affected in the long term by the Rena disaster? And what has the government done to protect mana whenua rights of whānau, hapua and iwi in relation to the environment in the wake of the Rena disaster?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
For the Minister for Primary Industries, the MPI are actively and always monitoring this fishery. If any adverse effects as a result of the Rena are actually picked up, then the appropriate action will be taken at that time.
Supplementary question, Brendan Horan.
Thank you, sir. Given the options in the MPI discussion paper, and given that the Minister has downplayed the economic value of the New Zealand recreational fishing sector in his analysis, is this not a case of the fish rotting from the head first?
Honourable Joe Goodhue.
Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Minister for Primary Industries, once again the member is taking this consultation process completely out of context. The member would be well advised, if he is this interested in it, to put in a submission. There have been no predeterminations of the outcome, and the options are many.
Point of order, Honourable Hikia Parata.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table the New Zealand Teachers Council registered teachers criteria.
Leave sought to table that criteria. Is there any objection? There appears to be none. It can be tabled. Would some honourable member care to move that the House takes note of miscellaneous business? Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr Speaker, I so move. Mr Speaker, well, desperate times call for desperate measures.